DETV News is powered by DART, Delaware's transit service. Moving forward.
Delaware U.S. Senator Tom Carper announces his retirement. Tuition is going up for students at Delaware State University, and the Wilmington Rotary raises money for Ukraine. Those stories and more are coming up next. You're watching DETV News. Hello and welcome to DETV News. I'm Lauren Wilson. Topping the news tonight is U.S. Senator Tom Carper's pending retirement. With his wife Martha by his side, Carper announced he'll be retiring next year. He will go down in history as one of Delaware's most successful politicians after spending 50 years in state politics. Carper told a crowd on the riverfront he's passing the torch on to the next generation. Tom Carper began his political career as a state treasurer in 1977. He went on to become Delaware's lone congressman, the governor, and then held one of the 2 U.S. Senate seats for Delaware. His pending departure opens the door for plenty of speculation about who will run for his Senate seat in 2024. Wilmington City Council voted yes to Mayor Mike Przicki's budget plan. The $182.5 million budget received 9 yes votes, 3 no votes, and 1 vote of present. It does not raise property taxes, but does have a 5.7% increase for water and sewage. It also contains a 6% hike in stormwater rates. Along with that, the operating budget has a $4 million neighborhood stabilization plan. And the March of Dimes is celebrating its 85th anniversary. Delaware Lieutenant Governor Bethany Hall Long, surrounded by health and community leaders, signed an official proclamation commemorating the agency's work with children who have disabilities, along with efforts to reduce infant mortality rates. She says the anniversary comes at a time when Delaware is refocusing ways to tackle maternal death rates and disparities. The Wilmington Rotary Club hosted a special guest from Ukraine. The Rotary also raised more than $300,000 to support victims displaced by the war. Ivana Mazur, the honorary consul for Ukraine, spoke at a news conference held at the Hotel DuPont. While speaking out about Russian aggressors, she thanked Americans for showing their support. The Rotary Club set out to raise $200,000, but topped that at the $300,000 mark. Mazur says the generosity of people around the world and here locally is making a big difference. The humanitarian assistance will provide shelter, food, medicine, and other essentials for war victims.
Well, the big deal today is that we're having a Rotary Club of Wilmington Stands with Ukraine dinner. And it's kind of the culmination of several months of planning and fundraising to raise money for the internally displaced people in Ukraine.
Well, just like everything else, Delaware State University is being hit by inflation. Students will have to pay $1,500 more for tuition next school year. To ensure the long-term stability of the HBCU, that means students will have to pay $750 more per semester. There is some good news for families earning less than $30,000 a year. DSU plans to decrease tuition for those students, but hasn't announced how much that discount will be. Upgrades to classrooms and residence halls will be made. And students who get so-called Inspire, Presidential, and Athletic scholarships will not be affected. Despite the tuition hike, Del State is still 37% cheaper than the least expensive four-year university in the state of Delaware. Just last week, the University of Delaware announced tuition there would go up by 5%. For in-state students, that means it will cost $14,040 a year. Out-of-state residents will have to pay $37,680. Also at the University of Delaware, 2 parents received quite a scare. According to university police, the parents received calls saying their child had been arrested in the early morning hours of Friday. The parents were told to send money immediately to get their college student out of jail. It was all a scam. Police want families to be aware that no law enforcement agency will ever call and demand money over the phone. Fines are collected by the courts, not police. If you get a similar call, you are encouraged to contact University of Delaware Police. Also on Friday, an accused shoplifter caused a traffic backup right in the middle of the morning rush hour. While trying to get away, the bandit caused a crash on Wrangle Hill Road in Bear, just off of Route 1. Delaware State Police say the suspect stole items from a nearby Lowe's store and then fled. Minutes later, he crashed his vehicle into 2 others, along with 2 road signs near the roundabout on Wrangle Hill Road. The suspect fled on foot and was never found. Fortunately, no one got hurt. In other news from Delaware State Police, the pedestrian who was struck and killed in a Walgreens parking lot has been identified. Police say 89-year-old Celeste Spear of Bethany Beach was killed after an 82-year-old woman from Bowie, Maryland, made a sharp left turn into a parking space with her vehicle. Spear was transported to an area hospital where she later died. Police are asking anyone who may have witnessed the 10:15 a.m. collision to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-847-3333. In more news from Sussex County, the State Fire Marshal's office determined a house fire was caused by a malfunctioning golf cart that was kept in the homeowner's garage. It happened on Robinson Drive near Coastal Highway. When firefighters arrived, they saw flames shooting out of the garage. While the blaze was deemed to be accidental, it did displace 2 adults. Damage is estimated to be at about $350,000. Back here over the weekend, hundreds of men and women hit the road for the 15th annual Wilmington Grand Prix, and DETV was there to capture it live. The race included men and women pro cyclists, along with 2 amateur races. Riders of all abilities also participated in the Major Taylor Community Ride. Marshall Walter Major Taylor is considered to be the world's first Black cycling champion. The event kicked off Friday with riders taking on Monkey Hill. Saturday was a fun-filled family day with free activities, street vendors, and of course, plenty of bike riders. DETV's Ivan Thomas was on the scene Sunday when the serious riders took off again from Rockford Park, with cyclists riding through the scenic parts of the Brandywine Valley. The weather made for a great day for local bikers and others from all around the country to take a ride. Close to home, a 3-alarm fire broke out at the historic Howard Hotel in Elkton, Maryland. The landmark building has been around for 170 years, and 2 U.S. presidents reportedly stayed there. The old hotel is located at the corner of Main Street and North Street. Heavy smoke was billowing out of the building when firefighters arrived. A rear portion of the hotel collapsed during the blaze. People in nearby apartments and buildings had to be evacuated. The hotel dates back to 1853. It has recently been used as a restaurant. 1 firefighter was taken to the hospital with injuries. The cause of the blaze is still under investigation. From LA to Wilmington, a new media company hosted a pop-up block party over the weekend here. Brown Girl Grinding is a company started by Wilmington native Lauren LaRosso, who is also a senior producer for TMZ. LaRosso started Brown Girl Grinding, a strategic marketing company that is centered around building communities, culture, and content. She came back to Wilmington to host the block party. The pop-up event gave participants a chance to purchase tickets to the BET Awards show while also supporting local businesses. A good time was had by all who were in attendance. Finally, don't forget the Memorial Day weekend is coming up. For those of us who live in Delaware, we all know the unofficial start of summer season means beach traffic. Pack your patience and plan for more people to be on the road as early as Friday. Heavy traffic is also expected to be in some areas of Newark for the Memorial Day Parade on Sunday. The parade route will close Delaware Avenue between South Main Street and South Chapel Street. It starts at 12:30 and is expected to end around 5 o'clock. That's going to do it for this DETV update. I'm Lauren Wilson. Thanks for joining us. Catch us on all social media platforms and don't forget to hit that share button. Stay safe and we'll see you again next time.